So in many ways, it's much easier in a small business, in a small community, to understand and use that power of business tribes. And once you understand that, you can make your business not only profitable, but a long-term sustainable business. So some of the questions I get is that it's great, this concept of business tribes, this networking, but I see it working for larger businesses when you've got a lot of people around you, but can it work for local businesses? So here I just share a couple of my best tips. So the first one is, as a local business, is to understand all those tribes around you. And at a local business, you've got a much easier way to get that understanding, first off, of the consumer tribes, so people looking for solutions, looking for who've got problems, who are looking for solutions. So there's a whole range of mechanism that can really capture that understanding. And there's ways that you as a business can actually help serve those people. So there's at a small level, it could be information sheets on, say in construction, it could be information on how to lay tiles. It could be information on how to cut a sheet of timber. It could be information on how to measure a room for floor coverings. Whole range of information on implementation on doing that work in a home, say in construction. If you're a hardware store trying to sell things. It could be a winery on what foods are best served with your particular wine. It could be a course on how to understand how to taste wine and what's the best wine, and how you can understand the aging of wine. You actually get a better understanding on your employee tribes, because you're a local smaller business. You can really get that feeling of where your employees, what they do in their lives. Do they play sport? Are they members of a Parents and Friends Association? Are they involved with Rotary and Lions, other community and sporting groups? And how you might be able to engage with those through your employee to be able to capture their employee being an advocate for you, that you're a good employer, that you look after the people that work with you, so you're a good person to be able to purchase off. It could be some charities in your area. It could be what we've done down at Port Arthur, which is a motel that I'm developing at Port Arthur in Tasmania, that we've worked with different charities to be able to help them in their work. As an example, Cystic Fibrosis or Cancer Council, Heart Foundation, Guide Dogs, these organisations that do some great things in those communities. And in our case, we actually give them free nights, but it's in the winter, which we're not full anyway. So it's a way that we can help them. They either sell those nights off to raise funds for those organisations, or say in the case of Cancer Council, actually give them to people who are at the end of their life, to be able to give them new experiences, different experiences they can have before they die. So it's a way we help those charities, but they tell other people. They tell their tribes that this is an organisation that works with them, that's working with them, giving them free nights. So I've got a program to give away $1 million of free nights over a period to be able to help those organisations. So you gain reputation that you're creating those bonds in that community. And your local business is all about your community, getting them behind you, that you're not there just to sell stuff to people, that you're there to help that total community, that you've got solutions for all of their problems. But you understand and care about them as well. And especially in local business, the feeling of this, that the core of any business should be that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So caring about people in your community gains you that reputation that you want to understand what their problems are. It gains you that trust and respect, that you're there just not to sell something, not there for the quick fix, that you're there for the long-term part of their community. That builds those bonds between people within your community. So you then start to sell not just to the people who you influence, but to their friends as well. And that's really, really important, because then you can suddenly double, triple the number of people that you're selling to based on word of mouth, based on this feeling that you've got solutions for their problems. Another one is about sponsorship. So it's not just direct giveaway things like we're doing at Port Arthur, but it may be something different in a specific way. As an example, at Scouts Tasmania. So I've been involved with Scouts in Australia for over 30 years. And it's an organisation actually where I met my wife. She was a guide. We met at a major jamboree type thing which we have in Tasmania. So she had this feeling from that guide association that took her on a journey to be able to give her those skills and knowledge to be able to be a great teacher for 40 years. I got those attributes from scouting, which have been able to have that team building, working together, and helping that community. So we see these organisations as an integral part in our community. So they've come up with a new program to assist boys to become those future leaders in that community. Not just get the skills and knowledge as they go along, but some specific leadership skills for older members in Scouts in Tasmania. So we saw this as a program that we could assist them with. So we're now selling specific nights down at Port Arthur to raise funds for this program. Suddenly now what it changes that we've now engaged this whole scouting community, that they see us as a major income generator for this program, that we see this program for the future of not just scouting, but for the whole Tasmanian community is really, really important. So it changes this whole concept that we're not in business to be able to make a quick buck for ourselves, that we're actually in business to be able to change the future of our community, to be able to put leadership in that community to make that change, not next year, but for 10, 15, 20 years' time. So it creates different brand values. And in a small community, local community, that's really important because you're there for the long term. You're not some multinational that have come in and tried to have low wages and poor food, but you're there as an integral part of the community, helping that community grow and develop over time. So it's about using that power of tribes, because all of that, as an example, with that scouting community, they've all got tribes. They've all got friends who want to stay and will stay with us. In fact, scouting across Australia, we've now got a program that leads into it. So we're encouraging 50,000 scouting families across Australia to be able to travel to Tasmania, stay with us, help us raise funds for these programs. Then we're looking to expand that program into other parts of Australia. So it's using that power of the tribes, using that power of networking at that local level, that small business level, is much, much easier at a small business because you are part of that community, because you're involved in these other organisations as well. So people know you. They grew up with you. Alumni tribes, that's my third book that I've just written, is a powerful, powerful tool to get that understanding on how you can use alumni, people that you've gone to school with. Could be high school, university, but it could be other programs that you've been, sporting club, that you've gone through this a process with other people, built those bonds, and now they're out there being advocates for you in that small business community. So in many ways, it's much, much easier in a small business, in a small community, to understand and use that power of business tribes. And once you understand that, you can make your business not only profitable, but a long-term sustainable business. I hope you really enjoyed this video. And if you want a deeper dive where I share some more information on how you can implement business tribes in your business or organisation, grab the link below at businesstribes.com.